In this video, we will talk about the energy method to find the time period of an SHM. Okay. Now, one method of finding the time period in SHM is to calculate the restoring force, F restore, right? This restoring force for SHM is directly proportional to X for linear SHM and directly proportional to theta for angular, right? But the constant that appears, this K can be written as m omega square, and from here we can find omega. Omega can be found, that is root over K by m. Once you calculate omega, you can calculate the time period also, because time period is 2 pi upon omega, right? So that is one method of finding the time period of a system, okay, provided that the system is performing small oscillations, which is SHM. In that case, we can say that the restoring force, or in the case of angular restoring torque, will be proportional to the displacement. For torque it will be, for angular SHM we can say, if it is an angular SHM, then the restoring torque is directly proportional to theta. Okay, restoring torque is directly proportional to theta. Okay, but there is one more method of finding the time period. Okay, that method is called the energy method of finding the time period. Okay, so let us just discuss that. So what is to be done in this method is, the first thing that you will do, step one will be to find the equilibrium position, of system. Okay, when we solve the question, then it will be clear. Second is displace the body or the system by a small amount. This is step 2. Okay. Step 3 for the energy method. Is write down the energy. Energy of the system. Write down energy of system. Now remember, in SHM, if it is a free oscillation, there is no loss of energy. It is not a damped oscillation. In that case, energy of the system E must be a constant. Okay, like a spring block setup, we know that the energy is simply oscillating between kinetic energy and potential energy. At some point of time it is kinetic, at some point it is potential. But the total sum total E, that must be a constant. The total energy must be a constant with respect to time. And this means that the rate of change of energy dE by dt is going to be 0. This is the equation which will be utilized in finding the frequency or the time period. Okay. Now let us consider one example for this. How do we calculate the time period using dE by dt equals to 0? Let us see. So I am considering this example. Let's say that we have a spring here, okay, attached to a pulley, and let's say this is attached to a block whose mass is m. Okay, it is given that the string is inextensible. And pulley is light, or pulley is massless. So the ideal situation that we have done in Newton's laws, same situation, pulley is massless, okay, the string is inextensible as well. This is a spring whose spring constant is, let us say, K. Now if I take this block and if I release it, if I displace it downwards and I release it, what will happen? The system is going to oscillate, right? So let us say we want to find the time period of oscillation of this system. What will be capital T? What will be time period of this oscillation? So if you want to find the time period of the oscillation, the first thing that you are going to do, is find the equilibrium position. How do we find the equilibrium position? Now, if it is not displaced, the system is not displaced, then we can say that the tension acting on the spring here should be balancing the weight. Is it okay? And due to this tension, of course the tension is present in this spring also. Due to this tension, the spring will undergo a small amount of extension. Let's call that extension x0. Okay, let the extension of the spring be x0. Then what is going to be the force acting here in this direction? It will be K times x0 if the extension is x0. So what we can say is in equilibrium Kx0, that is the force acting due to spring, will be balancing the tension, which is 2T. Okay, and remember what is T? T is equal to mg. T is equal to the weight, because the block is also at rest. So this we can say is simply twice of mg. And from here the relationship that we find is x0 is 2 mg whole divided by k. And this is your equilibrium position. This x0 is your equilibrium position. This is the position of the pulley initially. Okay. So remembering that, after we have found x0, what should be done next? Let us see. After we have found x0, let us now displace this block by a small amount. Let's imagine that this block is getting displaced by a very small amount. Okay, let's say we displace it by an amount of x. Okay, then in that case, simply I am going to write the energy of that block in that situation. Okay, what will be the energy of the block? E. One thing that is obvious is it could have some speed, so it will have a kinetic energy of half mv square, right? Another thing is, let us call this location where it was initially my reference potential. That means at this location or at the equilibrium location, the potential energy, gravitational potential energy, I am assuming to be 0. Now, if it is displaced by an amount, can I say now the gravitational potential energy is negative? And so I can say that this is going to be minus mgx. Yes or no? Minus mgx, there is a decrease in potential energy. That is clearly the situation. Now, there will also be some spring potential energy stored in this spring, right? Now our task is to find how much spring potential energy will be present in this one. Now if this one is displaced by x, what will be the displacement of the spring? You can see here, this displacement is x, this displacement is 0. For a pulley, this is a pulley, in constraint relations you have studied, if this side is undergoing a displacement of x1, if this one is going a displacement of x2, okay, then here the displacement is x1 plus x2 whole divided by 2. Okay, so here what is going to happen? This is x, this is 0, so the displacement of the spring is going to be x0 was there initially, but there is extra x by 2 also. X plus 0, x by 2, so plus x by 2. So you don't only have x0 here, you also have x by 2. So if I want to write the energy of this thing, what will be the energy? The energy of this thing will be half mv square minus half mgx plus half kx square. So plus half k, remember that the extension is x0 plus x by 2. whole square. This is the total energy. This is the total energy, and this total energy should be such that it is a constant, which means dE by dt must be equal to 0. dE by dt must be equal to 0. Now let us solve this equation. Let us see what do we have, what do we get after differentiating this equation. So what is this? First term is going to be half m 2v dv by dt. Next term is minus mg dx by dt. Right? Next term will be plus half k twice of x naught plus x by 2, okay, times half dx by dt. You will also have another half here, half k twice of x naught plus x by 2. Applying the chain rule, differentiation of this is 0, but you will have differentiation of x by 2, that is half dx by dt. So half dx by dt, okay, this will be 0, this will be 0. And now you can see one thing, 2 here gets cancelled, obviously 2 here also gets cancelled, velocity gets cancelled, dx by dt is also velocity, so velocity gets cancelled throughout. This is velocity. Is it okay? So that equation that we find is m dv by dt, m dv by dt. Next term is minus mg, you can see. Next term is minus mg. Then we have x naught. Remember, x naught was 2 mg by k. X naught was 2 mg by k, and here you have 2 also. So we'll have ultimately here plus mg only. Okay, and the next term will be k by 2 into x by 2, that is kx by 4 equal to 0. What is happening? mg gets cancelled. Now this is dv by dt, or the acceleration, right? So you can say that acceleration, okay, m into acceleration plus kx by 4, okay, equals to 0. Can you see here that this is essentially the restoring force, and we can write this as restoring force plus restoring force F restoring. It is equal to minus k by 4 times x. Now what is this k by 4? This is nothing but omega square. We have discussed earlier. This is omega square. So k by 4 is nothing but omega square. If k by 4 is omega square, omega is root over k by 4. You will have a mass here also, k by 4m. Omega is root over k by 4m, okay, and this is the acceleration. Mass will come over here, okay. If omega is this much, then what is the time period? Time period is 2 pi root over 4m by k. Now this is the time period of oscillation of the system. Okay, so you can see how energy method can be utilized to find the time period of systems. Okay, of course it's only valid if the energy is not getting lost. Okay, so thank you. We'll cover more questions in the next video.